Hello guys, it's Melissa and welcome to another video, and in this one I am bringing you a tiny island home on the island of Sulani, and this is actually my first time building with the Island Living expansion pack. I'd put off buying it for a while. I own like all the expansion packs apart from Island Living, or at least I did, and I was reluctant to get it for two main reasons. One of which was that when The Sims 4 came out, I was super excited to play it. I really liked it for like the first year or two, and then I kind of got bored of gameplay and I stopped playing for a while. I didn't play The Sims for like 3 or 4 years. I think it was also around the time that I went to university as well. And then when I decided to get back into The Sims, I decided to play The Sims 3 instead of The Sims 4 because I kind of preferred it. And more specifically, I was playing a lot of the Island Paradise expansion pack. I didn't own all of the EPs for The Sims 3, but I did own Island Paradise, and of the ones I did, that was definitely my favorite pack. So I played it a ton. Like, I loved playing with the resorts and going scuba diving and having houseboats and all things like that. So I really, really liked that pack. And then when I switched back to The Sims 4, like I said, I just had my fill of island gameplay, and also, you know, Sulani is very distinct to all the other worlds in The Sims 4, so it doesn't really fit, and it didn't really fit with the style of gameplay that I'm currently playing in The Sims 4. But that being said, I really have always liked the look of the assets that you get in build mode and CAS. So recently, when it was on sale, because I mean, The Sims 4 expansion packs are always on sale, I decided to take the plunge and get it, and I'm really, really happy I did. I actually really like the items in this pack. I haven't played the gameplay of it yet. I probably will at one point, but for now, like I said, I'm more excited in the build items and the CAS items, and they are really, really nice. So I was like waiting until I had the time to build a nice kind of island home, and this is that one, and I was super, super happy with it. I love the beachy vibe of it. It's a small home, so it's like a tier 3 tiny home. I think it's like 96 out of 100 tiles. And as I said, I had a lot of fun building it. I actually did cut out in a second a lot of the landscaping, because as much as I love building in The Sims 4, I hate landscaping, and I feel like every time I put something down, I just don't like it, and I don't understand people who do these like amazing like landscapes with, you know, tons of like bushes and trees and flowers and all that. It looks so good, and I can never do it. Like, I just feel like every single thing I do looks bad. So I thought I would put a lot less pressure on myself by doing the landscaping off camera, which you can see here. So I just added some cute fairy lights to the front of the house because it just looked a bit strange. I couldn't figure out how to improve the front of the house, but fairy lights is usually my go-to. And I added some fencing around the patio at the front, and then at the back I just added like a little bit of a porch, just to add kind of a, you know, seating area outside, because of course you're on the island. I'd be sunbathing all the time. It wasn't probably the best move, considering that took up quite a few tiles, so the house is super, super small. And I actually really, really struggled. And in this build, I jump around quite a lot. And what I mean by that is, I think I've built even smaller houses than this one, but usually only for one sim, whereas this house is actually for 3 sims. And I really, really struggled with space. I much prefer building in big homes. I kind of like the challenge of building small homes, but also it's very, very intimidating and difficult. So yeah, I would, you know, be building the kitchen and then realize that I could make another room a bit bigger, and then I'd be moving things around. So yeah, it's quite a jumpy build, this one. I kind of go back and forth between the different areas, but as I said, it's for 3 Sims, but it's 2 bedrooms. So in my head, this would be a house for a grandparent and a child. So, or grandparents rather. So, you know, you've got the grandparents' room, they share the room, and then you've got a little boy's room. So the idea I had is that the grandparents are Sulani, like born and bred. They're raised here, they've lived here all their life, and they are really, really like island people. They're either children of the ocean or children of the island. They embrace everything to do with Sulani, whereas their grandson, the boy, he grew up in San Myshuno, so he is a city boy, and he, you know, has been raised by his parents, and I'm not sure why, I didn't think too much into it, but for whatever reason, he has had to move in with his grandparents in Sulani, and as beautiful as it is, it's just very, very different from the city. So in terms of his personality, when I was doing his room, I just decided to do a bit of a quote unquote typical child that's kind of into everything. So I put like a few science things, space things, sports things, because, you know, in the city there's a lot of different things to do. He's probably part of quite a few clubs. He could look out of his bedroom window and see all the festivals. There was just always something to do, whereas in Sulani there's obviously stuff to do, but it is all beach related. So I imagine he would kind of find that transition quite difficult. As I said, the grandparents are very, very beachy, and he is very like used to the city, so it's probably quite a struggle to him. But I thought it'd be quite a nice storyline for him to kind of just embrace the island life, and maybe even one day, I thought it'd be kind of interesting that he would grow up and learn to love Sulani and actually become a mermaid. I think that would be a really, really fun storyline. So yeah, that was kind of the vision that I had while I was building. As I said, it's a super, super small home, so both the bedrooms are really, really small. And I was quite happy with how I managed to utilize the space in the end, but like I say, I don't usually build houses this small. I like apartments. Apartments are kind of fun, and that way you don't also have to worry about landscaping as well. But yeah, houses, especially for like 3 different Sims, was a bit of a challenge. And in terms of the grandparents' personality, as I didn't really think too much about like hobbies. I didn't really put any skill objects. I did put a desk in the boys' room, but as I said, I think the grandparents are very, very beachy. They love the island life, so they probably don't actually spend that much time at home, which is another reason why it's quite a small house. They probably love just to be on the beach, you know, exploring the island. They're not really people just to sit at home and watch TV. They probably, I imagine, only even have the TV just for the grandson, just to make him feel a bit more welcome. And that's also as well why I wanted to put those little, what do you call them, deck chairs, like outside. So they probably just prefer, if they are home, just to sit outside and watch the sun. So yeah, I tried not to clutter it too much. That's another difference to houses I usually build, because I can spend such a long time like just using tons of like shelving and storage spaces and cupboards and just like putting a ton of clutter on them. But I didn't even use the debug menu in this build because, as I said, I wanted to keep it kind of simple. It's not a starter home, but it's not too expensive either. I think it's about like 30,000 simoleons, I believe. But it is actually on the gallery if you do want to download it. My origin ID is MediJ1996. And we haven't got too much time left now. We're just in the bathroom, which again is super small. I think every room in this house did take just a little bit of time just to kind of work out where I'd want to put the furniture, moving stuff around. As I said, it was quite quite jumpy because I'd kind of put something around and then move on and then realize like, oh, I could utilize the space a bit better than I did. So yeah, it was a lot of trial and error, but as I said, I think it's quite nice to do things that you're not really used to doing. It's like a nice little challenge, and it keeps the Sims 4 interesting because, as I said, it's quite easy to get bored of it. But here I am just rearranging the furniture in the boys' room because, as I said, I realised that I hadn't really put any hobby objects. So I did want to put a desk, and I think I just put like a diary on there, but you could definitely put a laptop as he gets older. Yeah, I was a bit conscious of the fact that I hadn't really given specific personalities to any of the Sims here. But I mean, as they develop, you could definitely add things, even though it is a small home. I did leave the garden quite open, so I did put a swing set, but you could definitely put like a chessboard or something on there, depending on the skills that you want to pursue. But I think that's pretty much it for the build. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then please give this video a like and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more speed builds and other Sims content. Let me know what you think of the build in the comments down below, but I think that's pretty much it. We're just going on to the screenshots. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and until my next one, bye!